Okay, be honest. What just flashed through your mind when you saw those clips? Discipline? I should have more of that. Or maybe that looks miserable. What if I told you that everything you think you know about self-discipline is probably wrong? We've been sold a lie. The lie that self-discipline is about white-knuckling your way through life, saying no to everything fun, and forcing yourself to be a robot. No wonder we resist it. Because self-discipline is not about forcing yourself to do things you hate. It's about choosing what matters to you and following through. But what if self-discipline is not the jailer? It's the key that unlocks the door. What if it's not about punishment, but the deepest form of self-respect? Stick around because in this video we're not just gonna talk about how to be more disciplined. We're gonna uncover the way that makes it effortless. And we're gonna debunk the biggest myths that are holding you back. And I promise by the end, you will see self-discipline in a whole new beautiful light. We're gonna start by the 3 lies that keep you stuck. Before we build a new definition, we have to tear down the old, broken one. So let's bust the 3 biggest myths about self-discipline. Self-discipline is about suffering and deprivation. This is the biggest one. We think the disciplined person is the one suffering the most, but that is not discipline. That is self-punishment. We must all suffer from one of 2 pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs ounces, while regret weighs tons. The truly disciplined person is not choosing between pain and pleasure. They are choosing between discipline, let's say the temporary discomfort of a workout, and the pain of regret, let's say the long-term frustration of being out of shape. They choose the smaller, purposeful pain. It's a fixed trait you're either born with or not. I used to think I was lazy. I would start things and never finish. I'd make plans and break them. I'd wait for motivation to strike, and it rarely did. I'm just not a disciplined person. Sound familiar, right? This is a fixed mindset. Self-discipline is a muscle, not a birthmark you aren't born with. It's something you can build rep by rep with tiny, consistent actions. Let me tell you about my reading goal. I wanted to be a person who can read 50 books a year. I would see people online doing it and think, maybe they are just more disciplined than I am. So I would set this huge goal and then buy a stack of books and then nothing. The pressure of reading 50 pages a day felt so overwhelming that I would just scroll on my phone instead and then do nothing. I felt like a failure. Then I changed the entire game. I made my goal comically small. I told myself, you don't have to read a chapter. You don't even have to read 10 pages. You just have to read 1 page every night before bed. That was it. Some nights I would read 1 page and put it down. Most nights I would get into it and read 5 pages, 10 pages, even 20. The discipline was not in the massive effort. It was in the tiny, unbreakable commitment to that 1 single page. That 1 small habit built my reading muscle, and now reading is a natural, joyful part of my life, not a chore. It wasn't about being a disciplined person. It was about building a disciplined habit. It requires massive, heroic willpower. We picture the marathon runner at mile 20, gritting their teeth. But the truth is, the disciplined person does not let it get to that point. They don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems and routines that make the right choice the easy choice. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. So the person who avoids the cake is not necessarily using more willpower in the moment. They might have just had a healthy, satisfying meal beforehand, so the cake is not as tempting. They managed their conditions, not just their choices. Next, reframing discipline as self-respect. Okay, so if it's not about suffering, and it's not a fixed trait, and it doesn't require heroic willpower, what is it? Here is the core shift. Self-discipline is the highest form of self-respect. It's you keeping the promises you make to yourself. Think about it. When you tell a friend you will meet them, and then you show up, that's respect. When you tell yourself you'll go for a walk, and then you don't, what message does that send? It tells your subconscious that your word does not matter. That erodes self-trust. But when you keep that promise to yourself, when you finish that chapter, when you save that money, when you put your phone away to sleep, you're essentially saying, I matter, my goals matter, my future self matters. That is powerful. The Future You framework. I want you to try this. The next time you're forced with a decision to hit snooze, or to get up, to order takeout, or to cook, ask yourself this simple question. Which version of me I'm feeding? Am I feeding the version of me that settles, that procrastinates, or that feels sluggish? Or am I feeding that version of me that is energized, proud, and in control? This is not about guilt, it's about identity. Every choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. John C. Maxwell said, "You will never change your life until you change something you do daily." The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. The system, building your discipline muscle. Alright, let's get practical. How do we actually build this muscle? Here is a simple 3-part system. Start comically small. The 1% rule. You don't go to the gym and bench press 200 pounds on day 1. Don't do it with discipline. Want to read more? Don't commit to an hour. Read only 1 page. Wanna get fit? Don't commit to an hour-long workout. Commit to putting on your workout shoes and then do 1 single push-up. The goal is to make it easy so you can't say no. The goal is building the habit of showing up. Design your environment for success. Remember, discipline is about managing conditions. If you're trying to write, a phone notification is like a jackhammer to your focus. Want to focus? Use a website blocker. Want to eat better? Don't buy the junk food. Make it hard to get. Want to go to bed on time? Charge your phone in another room. You are the architect of your environment. Design it to make good decisions automatic. Implement the never zero and 2-day rules. The never zero rule means never do nothing. Didn't have time for your 30-day workout? Do 5 minutes of stretching your body. The chain is not broken. You maintain the identity of someone moves their body. The 2-day rule is simple. You never skip 2 days in a row. That builds consistency without the pressure of perfection. Miss 1 day? Fine. Life happens. But you make sure you get back to it the next day. When I was building my reading habit, I used this. My goal was to read 500 words. Some days I hit 1,000. Other days, after a long day, I read 1 chapter. But I never let 2 days go by with 0 words. That system, not sheer willpower, but is what built my reading discipline. So here's the truth about self-discipline. Self-discipline is not a prison. It's the ultimate form of freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from feeling out of control, freedom to become the person you know you're meant to be. It's the series of small, daily votes you cast for your future self. It's you respecting yourself enough to keep the promises you make. If this video sparked something in you, if you're ready to start living your life with more clarity and more purpose, more intention, then I've got something else you will love. In my last video, I talked all about boundaries and how to say no to the things that do not matter to you and yes to the things that do. Because intentional living is not about what you choose, it's also about what you refuse. So if you haven't watched that one yet, I highly recommend watching it next. I'll link it right here on screen and in the description below. See you there.